What's going on, everyone? NoZoupForYou here, and today we're going to talk about the Grosser Kurfurst. And I'm going to show you my build on it. And it is a secondary build. It is geared 100% towards secondaries and getting the secondaries as good as possible. And I know a lot of people have said that the secondaries on the Kurfurst are dead. I know a lot of people have said that the Kurfurst is not as good as it used to be. But for some reason, I am still doing my highest damage rounds in the Grosser Kurfurst. And I think it's because I've got it set up geared towards secondaries. And this round right here is going to highlight that. Now, just a couple of notes. You know, I've been an advocate of pushing and brawling. I just need to caveat that you can't do that every single round. You have to be smart about it. It's really dependent on the other team, what ships are on the other team, and of course what map you're on. I mean, obviously, if you get ocean, you're not going to want to just stroll out and brawl and push and everything else. But certain maps are better at allowing you to do that. This map in particular, not really. But the set of circumstances that occurred on this map, beginning right here with this interesting Wista that just is deciding to test out his long-range guns, it afforded me the ability to push and push hard, and I made the most of my secondaries. So I'm going to go over right now what my captain skills are and how I have my ship loaded out, and I'm going to take aim at this Wista right here, Mr. Graceful, who I don't think was really expecting me to fire at him right now and do what I was about to do. And look at that. Oh man, right off the bat, 3 citadels. It's nice when you can do that with a Wista. The reason why I feel I was able to actually get those citadels on him, I use 406s on my Kurfurst. I feel that you have a less chance of overpinning like you do using the bigger guns, and I think they're just more accurate. You have better dispersion and everything else, and I'm going to fire at him right now and hope that I finish him off. And I am going to finish him off. Oh, there's another citadel, and poor guy's out of the game. He's bored testing his free captain skills, but as someone's about to point out, he's really not going to be testing them anymore. So let's go on with what I've got my commander skills, so you know what my setup right now is. I use pyrotechnician, and the reason for that I'll get to here in a little bit, but that adds your percentage fire chance. It increases it just a little bit, 1%, but that does make a big difference in my opinion. I also use preventative maintenance, 45% less chance of your modules getting blown out, your main guns, and I get that 45% because I use Lutjens. If you have Lutjens, I highly recommend you using him on your battleships because he's just got so many good bonuses that help this ship out. Moving on to your 2-point skills, I use Grease the Gears, which once again takes advantage of Lutjens. You get a 25% speed increase, and that's important on the Kurfurst because your guns are kind of slow as it is. Being able to turn them just a little more, all the better. And you can see my secondaries are already popping off right now. They're doing what they do. Now here's the thing, and the reason why I use Pyrotechnician, I also use IFHE. And IFHE naturally decreases your ability to start fires by half, and that's pretty significant. So using Pyrotechnician kind of boosts that back up. Now, some people probably don't use IFHE. I do, and it hits like a freaking tank when it connects. And I know the secondaries on the Kurfurst aren't quite as accurate as they used to be, but they do the trick. And they hurt when you do connect. I mean, I'm talking like 300 hit points every round that lands. And over time, that adds up a lot, especially if you're in a brawl with another battleship. Your 3-point skill, there's only one that I take, and that's the long-range secondary battery skills. And of course, that is all important because it gets your secondary range up to a final value of 12.5 kilometers, and that is absolutely insane. That is some range right there. Your secondary range is further than most destroyer main guns. Just think about that. Think about that. That's crazy. So moving on, improved secondary battery aiming. That's your 4-point skill. You're going to want that because, once again, you're going to want your secondaries to be as accurate as possible because right off the bat, they are not. And I've got the Iowa selected right now. I get a nice little citadel on that Slava. He's right in the wheelhouse of that beautiful range where you can do that. Once he gets a little closer, it's going to be harder to do that. Slava's just one of those weird ships. The closer you are, sometimes the harder it is. And I'm going to hit the mountains right here, unfortunately. I had a really good shot on that ship, didn't realize that mountain was right there. I also use close quarter combat, and close quarter combat is really, really good for this setup because it decreases your main battery reload by 10%, which is already at 26 seconds. It's already at 26 seconds on my build. So once you get within that secondary range of 12.5 kilometers, which I'm at right now, you get a nice little buff to your main battery reload. Probably knocks it down to right around 24 seconds or so, which is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. It also decreases your secondary reload by 10% once you're in that wheelhouse as well, and that's nice as well. The last skill I take is the fire prevention skill, and that is all important. And I've played around with taking that or the extra heal. I find that the fire prevention skill is so much more important. And hear this destroyer in chat saying he's going to sink me, or at least he's going to sink me. He's got some high hopes, I guess. I honestly didn't know he was a destroyer at the time until I watched this later. Thought it was kind of funny, though. This team is getting steamrolled, unfortunately, and there goes my Lutjens popping off with the secondary battery loader talent activated right there. And you can see my secondaries just absolutely... I love it. I love it. Absolutely love secondary builds, and they're still viable. Upgrades. I want to talk about my upgrades real quick. I use the legendary upgrade for this ship. If you don't have it, you should try and get it. Really good. Improved ammo hoist is the name of it. Decreases your main battery reload by 10%, which is why it's down to that 26 seconds. Very nice skill right there. Also decreases the reload on your secondaries batteries. Wow, if I could say that right, by 15%. The only downfall for this, the only con, is that it decreases your range by 8%. And there's those torps. He's like, bye, Kurfurst. No, not really. Those are going to land behind me. Not even going to hit. That 8% range decrease doesn't bother me that much because I don't plan on playing this ship at range. I plan on playing this ship up close and personal. So I don't find that 8% decrease in range is that bad whatsoever. So again, I covered my main guns. I use the 406s. I just feel that they're so much better. Secondaries, and there's that high caliber. The maximum you can get your secondaries up to 12.5 kilometers, and that's with flags and everything. And that is some major range right there. You can reach out and touch someone. Now, the fire percentage chance on the main batteries ranges from 4.5 to 6% because you've got different secondaries, different types. So, essentially, for every 100 rounds you hit, theoretically you can do, 4 fires for every 100 rounds. I'm not quite averaging that right now. I'm averaging about 1 or 2 fires. But you know what? With the IFHE on it, that really doesn't bother me because you're probably going to do more damage off the IFHE than you are the fires. Of course, landing fires is always nice. Now, this round right here was just insane for secondaries. And I know I farmed a lot of damage off this Slava that I'm chasing right now, Once I started pushing this round, I did not stop. I had no desire to stop. And it just worked out really nicely. And you can already see, he's like, just sit me so this game can end. And I'm trying. I really am. But you're also seeing how weird Slava is. 1 overpin, 1 pin, and 1 non-pin for like 2,000 damage right there. And it's weird because I feel that these guns are more accurate right around 15 kilometers than they are up close at about 8 kilometers. It's just another bizarre thing that happens with the Kurfurst. Some decent damage off the Bismarck there, but this round's about to end. It's over. I'm not going to sink the Slava right here. That destroyer that had been chasing me the whole round, just wanting to destroy me, he's finally going to get me in the very end. And I guess he's happy about it, but I thought I could sink the ship in time. I'm not worried about his torps right now because I know this round is over. I'm just trying to sink this Slava before anything happens. And you see, surprise, MFer. But I sink the Slava. I'm surprised the round didn't end with that. He got me, but it doesn't matter because it's over. So the crazy thing about this round, I'm going to show you here in 1 second. As soon as the after round stats pop up, you know, I did 250,000 damage, so it was a good round overall. I'm going to say I was extremely satisfied. But now for the really, really crazy thing. And, you know, 250,000 damage, good, but not all of that was off of my secondaries. I mean, excuse me, my main batteries. Half of that was off my main batteries. Half of that was off secondary. That was secondary damage right there. I mean, I did 96,000 in secondary battery hits. My HE shells did 96,000 damage. Fires caused 24,000 damage. So 120,000 damage off secondaries. 120,000 damage. Secondaries are not dead. They're just situational right now. And you can make them work. And this is proof. So if you want to do it, go for the secondary build. You'll enjoy it. Zoop out.